Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum highlights the contribution of private sector institutions in social responsibility projects. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth launches the second phase of Mobile Veterinary Clinics project. The activities of the International Oncology Conference began in Muscat. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you 7 o'clock news bulletin. And now, the details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cabal of greetings to His Majesty King Philip VI of Spain on his country's National Day. The first Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum under the theme Towards a National Charter for Social Responsibility began today under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Saeed Al Kalbani, Minister of Social Development. The forum, organized by a Ru'ya newspaper, is accompanied by an exhibition to highlight the contribution of private sector institutions to social responsibility projects in order to enhance the mission of the forum and to achieve its goals. It also showcases the efforts of partners and supporters who play a leading role in social responsibility and to identify as many distinguished institutions as possible. Within the framework of social responsibility, a number of Omani businessmen chose to support and adopt charity projects that serve the community and to join the government efforts in the development process. One of such projects is Saud Bahwan Charity Institution that contributed in the establishments of the National Center for Medicine and Heart Surgery with an amount of 25 million Omani riyals. Meanwhile, citizens donated for purchasing medical devices and building an intensive care unit in Ja'lan Bani Bu Ali Hospital. Other citizens, Bakhit Al-Kithiri donated 200,000 riyals to purchase catheterization device for medical and heart surgery center in Salala. Mohammed Bahwan donated to build 172 houses for poor families in the governorate of Buremi and Wilaya of Wadi Bani Khalid. On the other hand, the charity institution of Mohammed Al-Barwani donated 1 million Omani riyals to build an integrated residential unit for those accompanying the patients of Sultan Qaboos University Hospital of Social Securities and Low-Income Families. The report by International Monetary Fund pointed out that the Sultanate's gross domestic product is expected to record an increase by 3.7%. The report also showed that the financial deficit in the gross domestic product reduced to reach 14.3% compared to 18.6% last year. The report added global recovery is still in progress and it is moving faster and pushing the economies of Europe, China, Japan, USA, and Asia. American media praised the Sultanate's recent decision of granting touristic visas on arrival to the nationals from Russia, China, and India with the condition that they hold U.S. visa. The website called Boarding Area said this decision would promote international tourism activities to the Sultanate and would facilitate procedures, especially for those who are planning to spend a long or a short vacation in the Sultanate. The website added that it would also contribute in diversifying the resources of the Omani economy, stressing on the importance of this facilitation made by the Sultanate to those three nationalities. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth launched the second phase of mobile veterinary clinics projects. The project included 12 mobile clinics. It was funded by Petroleum Development Oman PDO. These clinics will provide guidance, preventive and treatment services to livestock wealth breeders in various villages in remote and mountainous areas. They are equipped with various diagnosis equipment, laboratories and medicines. The projects came as part of efforts to support livestock breeders and to avoid common animal-to-human diseases. The launching ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Ja'far al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. Moj Company crowned the best students company for 2017 at Injaz Oman competition. It won the prize through its project about recycling fish products. Some 25 students companies were qualified for this competition. The winning company will represent the Sultanate at the international competition for the best students company at the level of Arab world this year. Injaz Oman competition is an initiative aiming to find students companies that contribute in local market, promote entrepreneurship and provide job opportunities in the private sector. The ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Kamil bin Fahd Al Said, Assistant Secretary General of the Office of Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers. 70% of participants passed the requirements of Administrative Skills Development Program for managers. It was organized by Capabilities Development Institute of the Diwan of the Royal Court. The program came as part of the government's plan to increase the productivity and performance in various states' bodies. It was designed as per work environment requirements. It discussed topics such as leading work teams, communication skills, customer and employees relation management, human resources management, and corporate governance. The International Oncology Conference organized by the Royal Hospital began at the Grand Millennium Muscat this morning under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saif Al Hosni and the Secretary of Health Affairs at the Ministry of Health. More details in the following report. 9th Muscat International Oncology Conference began this morning. The conference that hosts 48 lecturers from 15 countries included 7 scientific sessions with 58 working papers that shed light on spectrum of topics related to oncology, such as cancer treatments and diagnosis, chemical therapy, cancer surgery, radiation therapy, nursing oncology, and the palliative care for patients during the treatment period. The two-day conference aims at familiarizing the participants with the latest advancements in cancer diagnosis and treatment, as well as exchanging experiences with the world's senior physicians. It further aims at strengthening awareness among practitioners and allied health professionals on how to deal with the disease according to the latest standards. It's worth mentioning that prior to the opening, a workshop on health economies was held on Tuesday that addressed the topic of health economics, implementation of health technology assessment, and step of economic evaluation. Parallel to the conference, 2 workshops are being conducted on radiation oncology and physics and nursing oncology. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television. Still to come in our news bulletin. In tribute to the late poet and writer Judge Muhammad Al-Shiriani, a seminar was held in the Wilaya of Nizwa. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. discussing the latest developments of a number of regional and international issues of mutual concern between the Sultanate and Germany, were the main aspects of talks between His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency Dr. Norbert Lambert, President of the German Bundestag, and his delegation. The two sides reviewed bilateral cooperation relations between the two countries and means of developing them in different fields. Highlighting the Sultanate's role in boosting values of tolerance and coexistence through its tangible efforts in spreading religious understanding and tolerance was at the core of discussions between His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed Al Salmi, Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs, and His Excellency Dr. Norbert Lambert, President of the German Bundestag, and his delegation. They further reviewed the Sultanate's regional and international participation, mainly the Oman Message of Islam exhibition, which contribute in boosting the culture of peaceful coexistence among nations. From his side, the German guest praised the Sultanate's efforts in the fields of tolerance and understanding and the pioneering experience of Oman in the region. Discussing bilateral relations between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Sweden topped discussions at talks held between Major General Salim bin Musallam Khattan, Commander at the College of National Defense, and His Excellency Jan K. Tinson, Director of Stockholm International Institute for Peace Research in Sweden. They further exchanged cordial talks in a number of matters of mutual concern. In tribute to the late poet and writer Judge Muhammad bin Ali al-Shiriani, a seminar was held in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Dakhliya. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi has more details in the following report.
In cooperation with Nizwa Cultural Center, the Omani Society for Writers and Literati organized a seminar to honor the scientific and literary accomplishments of the late poet and writer Judge Muhammad bin Ali al-Shiriani, emphasizing the importance of fostering cultural communication among generations.
We have to introduce our writers locally to communicate the generations. Then the gap between generations will be filled or will be bridged by introducing a lot of information and introducing the Omani writers and Omani culture to the local. Then from the local, we also aim to introduce them to the outside of Oman, to the international, to the Arab peoples, to the regions. Then they will know that this country has a great culture and a great heritage.
With an intention to promote the Omani literature, a number of visions and scientific orientations on the feats of al-Shiriani were discussed in the 5 research papers presented at the event, including a biography, studies of his poems and books, and some features of his poetic codes.
My paper focused on the poems of al-Shiriani and different styles he used in his poems.
It is worth mentioning that the poet and judge Muhammad bin Ali al-Shiriani was born in Behla in 1929. He received his education there and completed memorizing the Holy Quran at the age of 9. Then he continued his education in jurisprudence with several veteran scholars. He lived in Nizwa, which he praised in his poems and prose. During his lifetime, he authored numerous works. He passed away at the age of 68 on the 2nd of December, 1997.
Such seminars help to convey the achievements of the early Omani scholars who had tangible impacts in different fields. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Dakhliya, Governorate.
And now to the international news. The pro-government Syrian Central Military Medical released a video today that it showed fierce fighting between the Syrian army and the Daesh group in Deir ez-Zor in the east of the country. The Syrian army fired cannons and heavy machine guns on suspected militant posts. Violence in eastern Syria has escalated significantly in recent weeks as Syrian troops, with the help of Russian air cover, have been closing on new Daesh strongholds Mayadin. Syrian troops broke a near 3-year siege on parts of Deir ez-Zor last month and are fighting to liberate remaining parts of the city from the Daesh. China today protested the sailing of a U.S. Navy ship near its territory claims in the South China Sea, saying it will continue to take measures to protect Beijing's interest in the vital waterway claimed by several nations. A U.S. official said the destroyer USS Chaffer sailed near the Paracel Island yesterday, coming within 30 kilometers of land. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman today denounced the mission as dangerous and violation of China's sovereignty. She said the military verified the presence of the U.S. ship by sea and air and warned it off. The U.S. Navy regularly sails through the area to assert freedom of navigation. Meanwhile, the United States flew two supersonic bombers last night from an air base in the U.S. territory of Guam to the south for drills with South Korean jets. At least 17 people have died and at least 2,000 homes, business and other structures have been destroyed in wildfires in Northern California. Authorities said carelessly discarded cigarette, a down power line, a car backfire or a chainsaw's pull, just about anything could have started any one of the wildfires now tearing through the area. Conditions were ripe for wildfires in California after record rains last winter created an abundance of dry vegetation, which combined with low humidity and unusually high winds to create fast-moving infernos. The fires are spread over a 200-mile region north of San Francisco from the Napa in the south to Redding in the north, taxing firefighting resources. Mount Shinmondaik in southern Japan erupted for the first time in 6 years today, shooting a plume of ash several hundreds meters into the air and sparking warnings to local residents. People were ordered to stay away from the volcano after it rumbled to life this morning, as Japan's meteorological agency said air blasts caused by the eruption could shatter windows. Meanwhile, the Sheveluch volcano in the far eastern part of Russia erupted today, sending an ash cloud into the air that rose 8 kilometers above the sea level. The eruption was filmed with a camera located some 47 kilometers southeast of the volcano. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorate of Sharqiya and Al-Wusta and Dhafar. Winds will be easterly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Oman Partnership and Social Responsibility Forum highlights the contribution of private sector institutions in social responsibility projects. The Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth launches the second phase of Mobile Veterinary Clinics project. The activities of the International Oncology Conference began in Muscat. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From the entire news team and myself, we do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.